Good day, dear viewers. Hope you're keeping safe and well wherever you are. Over the last few months, the world has witnessed something quite unprecedented, and I'm sure you'd agree that this has had a profound impact in our lives in a very fundamental way, the way we interact socially or at work with one another. As the world opens up slowly post the lockdown, it almost feels like we were in a period of forced estivation and now emerging to come out fresh and new. Organizations are realizing that things are not going to be the same as before and are redefining their strategies and plans for the future. As we seek to find answers and solutions without losing momentum of our CSR programs, let's listen to our CSR leaders and get some practical wisdom from them. Today's conversation is brought to you by the National CSR Network as part of our Heal with Hope at NCSRN project, whereby we bring to you inspiring stories of how to look beyond the difficult times we face today and shape a future for ourselves, whereby we do even more meaningful work that benefits our communities and our planet at large. The National CSR Network is an initiative of the Strategic CSR Alliance, comprising of industry professionals to assist companies in India to drive their CSR agenda with measurable impact and facilitate implementation of social and environmental development projects. Today, I have great pleasure in presenting Mr. Nixon Joseph, President and Chief Operating Officer, SBI Foundation. A postgraduate in English, Mr. Joseph joined the State Bank of India in 1985. As a career banker, he has extensive experience in all facets of banking and has worked in India, Bahrain, and Tokyo, where he was the president of the Sakura Toastmaster Club and also started the Tokyo Debating Society. As president of SBI Foundation, the CSR arm of the State Bank of India, Mr. Joseph has been supporting high impact projects to help the underprivileged and needy. He has been a regular speaker in various CSR forums across India. He is the recipient of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Award 2018 for Excellence in Public Service and the Dr. Kalam Memorial Ignited Minds Award. Mr. Joseph's name is featured in the Be the Inspiration book released by the Rotary Club Mumbai. He has been awarded the COVID-19 Warrior Award by CSR Times and India Achievers Forum for organizing various social initiatives during the pandemic times. Mr. Joseph has also been inspiring people, especially youth, as coordinator SBI Youth for India Fellowship Program and as SBI's marathon legend, whereby he has completed 40 full marathons, a sport that he started at the age of 45. He has been sharing about his remarkable experiences to youth in various institutions and spreading the message of sustainability by running all the SBI Green Marathons. Even during lockdown, Mr. Joseph dared to complete 3 full marathons inside his apartment, giving the message where there is a will, there is an inspiring way. Nixon, we are very glad to have you with us today. Can you kindly share about the CSR focus areas in the SBI Foundation?
The SBI Foundation was chartered in 2015 as the CSR arm of State Bank of India and its group companies. It was chartered with the aim of bringing a positive change in the lives of the marginalized and vulnerable communities. SBI as an organization stands for an inclusive India, and through its SBI Foundation, it also wanted to bring programs which will include the entire population of India, irrespective of religion, caste, language, etc. And in SBI Foundation, we have been following the philosophy of SBI, which is giving back to society. Our focus areas are healthcare and sanitation, education, livelihood and skill development, women entrepreneur, women empowerment, and senior citizens care, sustainability and environment, rural development, and Save the Earth initiative. We have three flagship programs: the SBI Youth for India Fellowship, the SBI Gram Seva Project, and the SBI Center of Excellence for Disabled Persons. And recently, as a response to COVID, we have started the India Healthcare Alliance, which is our fourth flagship program to give focus to health. As regards our flagship programs, SBI Youth for India Fellowship is a premier rural fellowship program in India. This was started to provide a platform to highly educated urban youth to connect with the rural aspirations. This fellowship was started to provide highly educated resources to the development sector. And this fellowship was also started to promote social entrepreneurship among the youths. We get almost 12,000 applications from all over the world for these 100 fellowship opportunities. That is, youth who have studied in Harvard, Oxford University, such reputed universities, and also from IIMs, IITs, etc. And also those youths who are living their highly paid corporate jobs, be it with TCS, Infosys, Boeing, PwC, Deloitte, etc., doctors, dentists, etc., chartered accountants, who are living their stable, lucrative careers to give back to society. And they find the SBI Youth for India Fellowship as the right platform where they can become change makers. We have partnered with 10 NGOs to implement this program. And our youth, after the usual orientation program, they go to the NGO locations. First 3 months of this 13-month fellowship program, they just scout around the village to find out what are the pressing issues in the village. They note it down, and then they decide based on their skill, based on their talent, based on the NGO's focus areas, etc., to zero in on some issue and then bring creative, innovative solution to solve this problem. They come out with a project, pilot it, make it successful, and by the end of 13 months, they see that this project is sustainable, and then they leave. And we are very proud to tell that more than 70% of these youth who are left their careers with the corporate sector, etc., continue to be in the development sector. And that was what SBI wanted when they started this fellowship, that we should have highly educated youth moving towards the development sector. And another matter of pride is that 65% of the fellows are girls. We are very proud that our girls are willing to go to remote villages, braving all insecurities or challenges, living their well-paid careers, leaving the path which would have given them high positions in the corporate sector. Our girls are willing to go to remote villages to bring change. And that is a very, very inspiring activity. It's something so inspiring that I feel touched many a time when I hear about our youth being in remote villages, facing all the challenges, trying to bring change. So this is a program to bring out change makers.
I think
And
it's a great example, Nixon, because it also speaks about how in giving you probably experience the most fulfillment and happiness. So it's very good that
yeah, because
SBI is creating a
yeah,
platform for that.
what we hear in the media and all are only about youths. After studies, they get a very good placement. They are getting 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs, etc.
True.
Whereas there is a significant portion, significant percentage of youth who want to do really something innovative, something creative for the marginalized vulnerable in India. That is a great opening, like a great learning. Otherwise, we hear only about youths going for some highly paid jobs. They're going for some positions in the government or in the private sector and all. But there are many youths who are not bothered much about power or money, but they want to do something good for the society and have sustainable lives. So that is about our SBI Youth for India Fellowship Program. And I'm very proud that this program has also brought out many social entrepreneurs. One example I will tell you, one success story is about Anand Watts, who was a MTech in mechanical engineering from IIT Chennai. Instead of pursuing a corporate career, he joined us SBI Youth for India Fellow, completed his fellowship of 13 months in Dang Tribal District, Gujarat, where he had the opportunity to work with a bamboo craftsman. And because of his mechanical engineering background, he devised some small equipments to reduce the drudgery of bamboo craftsmen. After the 13 months fellowship was over, instead of going for any corporate career, he went back to this village and continued with the bamboo craftsmen, starting a social enterprise, giving livelihood opportunity to 6 to 7 bamboo craftsmen. So it's not applying for a job, but rather creating jobs. And this is only one example. Like every batch, we get around 4 to 5 social entrepreneurs, highly educated boys and girls, who are providing livelihood opportunities to many marginalized people. So that is the success of the program. That is something which SBI Foundation and SBI is proud of. That we are able to bring some youth, highly talented youth, into the development sector. And other program which we are having is SBI Gram Seva. That is holistic development of villages. We have adopted around 50 villages in the remote parts of India, starting from Assam, Uttarakhand, Bihar, Jharkhand, Maharashtra. We have adopted these villages, and it is almost like the Atmanirbhar Bharat where our Prime Minister was focusing these days, to make the villages self-reliant. So we intervene in education, health, livelihood, environment, basic infrastructure, etc. What we do here is, instead of investing lot of funds, we are trying to do utilize whatever resources are available in the villages, whatever talents are available in the villages, reskill them, upskill them, provide livelihood opportunities, conduct remedial classes, conduct healthcare programs, awareness programs, waste management strategies, etc. Involving the Gram Panchayat, the community, and the implementing NGO, so that after we exit, the project program is owned by the villages. The community itself will drive this program after we exit. So that is the sustainability which we are focusing on.
And typically, how long do you provide the support before it becomes
We,
sustaining?
our project tenure is 3 years, but we also handhold them for another 2 years, so that sustainability becomes a habit in the community. What we have also done is having a community information center in these villages with a Wi-Fi facility, with TV, broadband, etc. So that our villagers are aware of what is happening outside. What is the commodity price? what is the price of the agricultural commodities, what are the weather conditions, what are the job opportunities available. So all these information is provided in the community information center. Also, we focus on convergence of government schemes. Though our central government is bringing out various schemes, state governments are bringing out schemes, district level authorities may be bringing out schemes. The irony is that many of the beneficiaries are not aware of these schemes. So through our community information center, we are panning out information regarding these schemes and also linking the village and the villagers to each scheme so that they all derive benefit out of these schemes. So that is something which we are very, very happy about, because of our intervention, we have been able to link these villagers to various government schemes, and then they're able to derive benefit out of it, which otherwise they would not have been able to do it.
Yeah. And Nixon, have you really seen any impact of the COVID? Because because of the lockdown, there may be some limited opportunities for you to really go and reach out to these villages. So, have you seen any impact of the lockdown of the last few months on the Gram Seva and the work that you're doing here?
Of course. Of course. See, COVID, it is a pandemic. It has affected, entered lives, ended also many lives. But what we have observed in our villages is that COVID has not adversely impacted, in the sense that there have not been many or a huge number of COVID patients. Migrants have come. Those who have returned from the cities, urban centers, they have come to these villages. The logistic, as you know, has been affected. So some of the farmers are finding it difficult to find market for the commodities. What we have done here is that we have thought that there are women in the villages who are having so much of time. Why don't we engage them in activities which will supplement their incomes? So we have started training centers, Prerana training centers in these villages, where the women have been trained in stitching, tailoring, etc. And now they are making masks. So they are providing masks to the community and also able to sell them outside the villages also. It brings them some additional income. That is there. We are also thinking how to enhance the livelihood opportunities in these villages. We have our rural self-employment training institutes near these villages. So what we are having in mind is that we will train these youths, those people who don't have any livelihood opportunity, in various skills in these institutes, free of cost. Short-term courses could be in agriculture allied occupations like piggery, poultry, goat rearing, dairy farming, mushroom cultivation, beauty salons, carpentry, mobile repairing, etc. And then credit link them so that some of them can start micro enterprises.
Okay, I think that's good. So Nixon, you mentioned something about your response to COVID in terms of setting up like an India Healthcare Alliance. So could you tell us
Yes.
a little bit more about that? About what are the objectives and
Yes.
yeah.
See, COVID has exposed the healthcare infrastructure in India. COVID has brought to light that we have so many steps more to go to make healthcare accessible, quality healthcare accessible to the people. What we have done is we have short-term responses to COVID as well as long-term responses to COVID. As a short-term response, we have supported relief activities by way of providing food kits, ration kits to all those who have been badly affected by the job losses, loss of income, etc. So we have tied up with various NGOs and have been distributing meals, food kits, etc. all over India. In fact, we would have distributed more than 500,000 meals all over India. Also, we have distributed PPE kits, masks to the frontline healthcare workers. We have also supplied ventilators to various hospitals all over India. And you would be aware that State Bank of India employees have contributed 100 crores to the PM Cares Fund. And SBI Chairman, Mr. Rajinish Kumar, had already committed that 0.25% of the profit would be set apart for COVID-related activities.
I think that's really very, very inspiring.
Yes. And SBI Foundation, we have started a COVID relief fund.
Okay.
Where we have got contributions from all our pensioners, SBI pensioners, and also the SBI Ladies Club. They were generously contributing to this COVID relief fund. And as I told you, the short-term activities were this. The long-term, what we have done is we have trained almost 250,000 healthcare workers through our Project ECO program, which is an online program to build the capability of healthcare personnel on handling COVID-related issues.
Okay, right. So
also we have tied up with Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, where we have supported research on having a mobile diagnostic van and also research on mechanical ventilators. And I'm very happy to tell that this mobile diagnostic van is ready to be handed over to the government of Karnataka, and it will make diagnostics very fast. It can travel to various parts of the city. And a mechanical ventilator, once it is ready, it will be providing an economical solution to the ventilator problems which we are having in India. So we have supported research activities which would support this COVID related fight. In the long term, we are tying up with various agencies for community screening, telecare facilities, so that not only medical help but also help in the mental health area would be taken care of. So various programs we are chalking out to address these adverse effects of COVID.
Okay, thanks so much, Nixon. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shift focus a little bit from the SBI to your own personal story, because as I read out, even during the lockdown, you did 3 marathons, and you created this adage where there's a will, there's an inspired way. So I think many of us are really grappling a lot with understanding, how is it that we, like plan to live life, like being locked, etc. So you provided a very good diversion from that, and I think a very inspirational story. So could you tell, for those of us who are really sitting at home and probably spending a lot more time at home than we ever did in our lives before, what really will be the 1 or 2 tips that you would like to give the viewers in terms of how they can really cope with their holistic well-being?
See, the crisis like this, it's natural for people to be anxious, worried, disillusioned because of the uncertainty. But then there is no point in worrying over things where we don't have control. The best option would be to accept the reality that COVID is there, lockdown is a fact. But it doesn't mean that we have to lock down all our activities. We can do various things safely and with a positive frame of mind. I'll give my example is I used to enjoy running outside, taking part in marathons. But then when government has imposed lockdown, as a dutiful citizen, it is our duty to comply with it. Accept the reality. This is the crisis which has fallen on the nation, fallen on us. Let us accept it and respond positively. So I thought instead of being disillusioned, I will do jogging, running inside my apartment. It may be like tiresome because inside the apartment you have to negotiate various furniture lying there, corridors, all these will not be so huge and all. You should understand the flat areas in apartment area sizes in Mumbai. But then see, once you're determined, you can do it. And that makes you more positive. So once when I did it 42 kilometers, I felt more encouraged. I can do it. It gave me the belief that I can do it. Even inside the apartment, you can do it. You should not put a stop to your dreams because COVID has come. And we should engage in activities which give us happiness. Running is one activity which gives me happiness. Another thing which I like is studying new courses. So during this period, I enrolled for a course with Ashoka Changemakers. That was on social entrepreneurship with reference to health and wellness. It was a 2 month course, and I'm very proud to tell it that it has got projects to do, activities to do. Very proud to tell that I completed the course with distinction, and I got letter of appreciation from Mr. Bill Drayton, CEO of Ashoka Changemakers, for completing the course very well. So that gives you like a lot of happiness, optimism, and all. I also joined for another course that is high performance leadership in sports, organized by ELMS Foundation, where Olympians like Abhinav Bindra, Pullala Gopichand, and Olympians from US, UK, Australia, and all are taking classes. So such like when you listen to new ideas, good inspiring sessions from champions, then you also become positive. So what I would tell is that all of us should have some hobby, some pastimes, which will carry us through. Do something meaningful. Be it doing a kind act to someone, some neighbor, some purpose we have to find in life instead of being disillusioned that restaurants are not open, we cannot go out, we can't go to the beaches. All these are reality. This is the reality. We can't go out because we have to not only keep ourselves safe, we have to take care of others also. So, being the reality, let us respond positively, and that will be good for everyone. And that is the biggest contribution we can give as a human being to humanity. And I'm very proud that I have shown this as an example. I'm doing it. That is, I think, a big contribution I personally feel I have given to thousands of people. That instead of being lethargic, instead of being disillusioned, let us do something positive. And CSR is all about making change. Corporate social responsibility is about making change. So ourselves, let us make the change. Our Honorable Prime Minister has told about Atmanirbhar. Atmanirbhar Bharat can come out only if all of us are self-reliant. And if we have to be self-reliant, it means each of us has to be change maker.
True.
Starting from ourselves,
Yeah.
starting from our habits, starting from our life, we have to be change maker. Only then we can bring about the change which we want.
True, Nixon. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I'm sure that your stories have been very inspiring, not only in terms of what you're doing with the SBI Foundation, but also personally as well. Dear viewers, thank you for listening to the conversation with
Thank you.
Mr. Yosef. We hope that you found it inspiring. and useful not only for driving CSR initiatives for your organization, but also for bringing about, for being the change maker yourself. So if you would like to share your feedback or suggestions, or would like to know more about the National CSR Network, please do visit our website. You can also visit our YouTube channel and subscribe for more conversations. Thank you very much for joining us, and please stay safe and well.